Hi my angels, it's Hailey Reese and I hope that you guys are having the best possible morning, afternoon, night, whatever it is for you when today's video finally reaches you. You guys, today's video has freaked me out ever since I learned of it. It's messed with my mind. It's made me rethink so many things, and I am so interested to hear what you guys think of this when all is said and done, because for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys Marta's story and cautionary tale of why you should never call your own phone number at 3 a.m. Before we get into today's video though, I am so excited to let you guys know that today's video I've partnered up with LetyShops. LetyShops is an international cashback service that allows getting back up to 30% of expenses on online purchases and works globally. You can earn real money while making purchases at your favorite stores, and then you can withdraw that money easily via PayPal or bank transfer. There are more than 2,000 e-retailers available for cashback, such as, but not limited to, Walmart, Etsy, Best Buy, and Lululemon, but way more as well. LetyShops has different ways to shop with cashback, such as through their website, mobile app, or with browser extension. All you have to do is register your account at LetyShops, choose the store you want to shop at, go to the store, make the purchase as usual, and the cashback will automatically be tracked from your order and credited to your account. This is actually how I ordered training shorts on Lululemon and earned almost $2 from one order that I would have made anyways. Every order is carefully tracked and you see it in your LetyShops account right after buying. So if you want to start earning while spending, make sure you go ahead and click the link down in my description, register now, and if you make your purchase within 1 week, you will get premium cashback and 30% as a welcome offer. Oh, and if you guys are used to shopping on your computer, make sure you guys install the LetyShops browser extension, because then cashback will always be at your fingertips. But thank you so much to LetyShops for sponsoring today's video, and without further ado, let's dive right on into this. So today I want to be sharing with you guys Marta's story and Marta's cautionary tale of why you should never call your own number at 3 a.m. Now, I will admit I have never personally tried to call my own phone number at 3 a.m., nor do I feel like I want to after hearing this story, but I'm very, very curious to hear from you guys. If any of you have done this, or if any of you have had a similar experience, because this whole thing has left me super unsettled as a whole. So it all started one night when Marta just couldn't sleep. Just overall, she was having one of those nights where continuously she was tossing and turning and turning and tossing, and there was something odd about that night for her where she just felt like, number one, she couldn't get comfortable, but number two, she just couldn't sleep. And I've definitely had those nights too, and interestingly enough, for me personally, in nights like that, I've also had experiences where strange things have happened after, but nothing like what she says happened to her. So at around 3 a.m., her phone gives her a notification, and for a minute there, she thinks that somebody's messaged her or somebody's awake, and she feels like she'll have something to do because she cannot sleep anyways. So she picks up her phone, and on the lock screen, it says that she has a voicemail notification. So she unlocks her phone. She dials her number, which is how she's always called her own voicemail, which is something that I used to do, but more often than not, I actually just press like the voicemail thing. But anyways, she calls her own number to check her voicemails. And upon doing so, it doesn't call her voicemail. It's just dead air. And it says it's dialing her number, but nothing is coming through. So she hangs up. She dials her number again, presses it, nothing, dead silence. Then she hangs up. She tries again, tries to call her own number, static. And finally, exhausted, she debates whether or not she should try again, but she decides to. She calls her own number. And this time, after a little bit of silence, she hears her own voice say, "Hello?" Immediately, she panics because that has never, ever, ever came through. She doesn't have any sort of like voicemail or like answering machine that starts with hello. She's never heard herself say hello like that, but she heard herself say hello. So she's panicking. She pauses and she hears, "I know you're there," in her own voice. So instead of answering back, she hangs up the phone. And for the next 2 days, she's questioning what in the heck just happened, because the next day when she was with her friend and she went to call it again to prove that her self answers, it was her voicemail, like she'd been trying to check at around 3 a.m. that night when she answered her own phone call. A few nights goes by. She starts to think that it must have been so late that she was imagining things. There's no way in the world that that just happened. There's absolutely no way that her own voice answered and said, "Hello, I know you're there," because that would be impossible. And people asked her, "Are you sure it was your voice? Are you sure you dialed the right number?" And she was 100% certain. But then all of a sudden, after a couple of days, she starts having these dreams, you guys. And in these dreams, she starts seeing herself. Not talking to her, but everywhere she is, there's another one of her with her. She starts asking her mom, "Is there a possibility I could have been a twin? Is there any way to explain this? You know, it was 3 a.m. All these things have happened. I'm having dreams now of a second person next to me." But no. She wasn't a twin. There was no explanation, you guys, for any of this. And that's when things got even creepier. Out in public, in the corner of her eye, the same way as her dreams, she started to see this exact version of herself. Her. Always wearing the exact same thing she was wearing. It actually threw her off because at times she would know what she was wearing and in the corner of her eye see somebody else wearing it, and when she would look, nobody was there. Until eventually she started seeing herself out in public. She'd be at the end of a grocery aisle, and on the opposite side, she would see herself, and herself would pop around the corner, and when she'd go running, nobody was there. She began seeing herself so often that she actually thought she was going insane and went to the doctor, and the doctor tried to ask her if there was anything in her life that was causing her a great deal of stress. The doctor started asking her, was she not sleeping well? Was that what was going on? But there was no explanation. For a while, Marta started to feel like she was just losing it, and so she stopped talking to anybody about it. She stopped telling people what was going on. She stopped explaining what was happening. She stopped going to the doctor until things got really unexplainable. And that was when people started recalling seeing her places that it was impossible for her to be. They would recall conversations. They would explain how they'd seen her, spoken to her, that she was there, but she'd been traveling. It wasn't even like she didn't remember these conversations, because at one point she'd left for the weekend on a work trip. She wasn't even in that same area, but somebody had seen her and spoken to her and had a conversation. And it was as though there was another her out there now. So she opted to go and get spiritually cleansed. She opted to turn to her faith. She opted to pray that whatever she had accidentally summoned by calling her own phone number at 3 a.m. be gone. And it stopped. She never saw herself like that again. Nobody else mentioned having seen her when they hadn't. And she stopped having the dreams. And while it only lasted a short span of her life, to this day, she asks herself and she wonders what she'd done by dialing her number at 3 a.m. And she shares a cautionary tale that you should never call your own number at 3 a.m. What do you guys think happened with Marta? What do you think occurred here? Do you think this is nothing more than an urban legend? Or do you think she really did call herself at 3 a.m. and have these strange things happen? Do you think it's a ghost, an entity, a spirit? Or do you think it might be a doppelganger? Let me know in the comments below. And please, never call yourselves at 3 a.m. In fact, do your best to sleep at 3 a.m. Have you guys ever had any strange experiences like this? Do you know anybody who has, and what do you think of this whole story? Obviously, I can't validate the authenticity of the story, but I thought it was interesting to share nonetheless. And I want to hear in the comments below all of your guys' thoughts on it. Once again, with that being said, I would like to thank LetyShops for partnering up with me for today's video. Like I said, you guys, link down in the description. And that is it for today's video. If you guys are new to my channel, or you are just not yet subscribed but you do enjoy my videos, I would absolutely love it if you would go ahead and click the subscribe button. And please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness. And until next time, I love you.